mana-manalah make use of any ways in order for us to complete the IDP. Okay, so I would like to remind that IDP 4 credits. Okay, so you still have grades. Yeah, you have grades A sampai F for IDP. So unlike LI, you don't have grade. You have M or TM, memuaskan dan tak memuaskan. So IDP ni looks easy because you don't have to study, we don't have lecture. I will only give briefing from time to time, depends on the requirement, depends on the task that you have in hands. No final exam, that's the good thing. Yet it's 4 credits, so you must be wonder kan macam mana nak dapat A for these 4 credits, which is not that really technical pun. Okay. So to continue with the briefing, I nak share screen. I share my slides. Mula pula. Sekejap. Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Sekejap Right. Okay. So I would like to recall the subject name is Computer and Communication Integrated Design Project ECC 4947. Okay. So I'm the coordinator of the course. That's the reason why I cannot be one of the supervisor. One of the feedback from last year was the first time in CCSE history, we have this kind of project. Previously, we don't have this. So the feedback from the semester was the coordinator shouldn't be a supervisor to any of the team to avoid any biases or whatever lah kan. So therefore, in this year, in this semester, I cannot be the supervisor so that I can be fair to all the teams. Okay, so I hope that everyone is happy with that. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the second experience in the history. Yeah. So I don't say that I know everything about this course. This is still, try and error. So therefore, I would like to ask the cooperation from all of you so that we can learn together. Okay, if you have any hurdles, any challenges, especially during this pandemic situation, I hope that you will share and inform me about anything that may affect your IDP progress. Okay. So this is briefly what they did last year. Okay. They are kind of lucky because they did their IDP in a normal time. Okay. I mean the old normal. So they had meetings, they have the client user interview, they do the prototype development and testing in lab, and then they also do the report writing and presentation. They do that together physically, right? So this semester is going to be totally different. So that's why I am learning. You are also learning how to do this virtually. Okay, the goal of the course is the undergraduate or graduate capstone courses will provide students with an opportunity to apply concepts and tools studied the engineering program to the solution of real world problems. I know that you have done many projects before, many projects in your courses, okay? So you have done this kind of project many times, but IDP will be a little bit different than before because you will go through many processes, and then we are trying to imitate the real workplace situation, uh, whereby you will work in team, you will have your supervisor, you will you will communicate with the society or any other third party that may contribute to your project. So if you look at my my diagram here, you can see that we are going to 3 stages in order for us to complete the project. The first one is the inspiration stage, whereby you have the design challenge, you know where to start, you got the team, you got the project, and whatsoever. Then you have the ideation, more or less you already completed this during embedded. However, you do the solution or you develop the prototype without knowing what is actually the real situation and what is the requirement from the client or the user. So in the last stage, you will do the implementation, whereby you try to develop your innovation, and then you need to think on how you make your concept real and how do you assess its work, if it's working. And lastly, in IDP, something that you never think before maybe, how do you plan for sustainability? Yeah. So meaning that your prototype not only working but it's sustainable, it will be used by the users and the clients. Okay. The cost synopsis is very simple actually. Very, it's really like FYP. The course will cover computer and communication systems engineering oriented capstone design project for multidisciplinary. Okay, it just that for our case, it may not that multidisciplinary. However, when you are involved with the aquaculture, you are involving with manufacturing process, then it's already considered as multidisciplinary. So the design process may involve market study. Okay, so something that maybe you have done or maybe you never done before. Then you do project planning and execution. You may have modeling and simulation. You do the cost analysis, prototype development and testing are also discussed. So lastly, aspects of public health and safety, culture, society, economics, and environment are also emphasized. Okay. So I have 3 cost outcomes that I need to achieve from this course. Okay. Um, we have 7 POs, program outcome, that I will assess accordingly. So this is the mapping. So for course objective number 1, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it's still in Malay. Firstly is to design system computer and communication, to design computer and communication systems. So in here, I will assess EAC3 or PO3, PO8 and PO9. Okay. In PO3, regarding the design solution for complex engineering problem, I will assess through client validation report and proposal, and the marks will be 20%. Don't worry about the percentage. Later, I will sum up them again in a summary slide. In EACA, in order for me to assess you, either you understand the impact of professional engineering solutions in societal and environment contexts and demonstrate knowledge of need for sustainable development. So the final report will be used for this PO. Okay. So more or less you need to not only design, but you need to understand the impact of your prototype in society or environmental, also for sustainable consideration. Okay. For EAC9 or PO9, sorry, I need to assess on apply ethical principles. Okay, how ethical are you in order for you to complete this IDP project? this will be assessed in the final presentation. It will give you 5%. Okay, you may be wondering what is the definition of the client that we will use in IDP. So client is the person or group requesting the project. Okay? So sometimes people call them client or user. Okay, so sometimes may not necessarily they are the final user. Maybe they are the supplier for the system or supplier for the services. So this person or group for whom the project is being completed. So the client is responsible for articulating the details of their project request, the goals, objectives, specifications, and outcomes. So when you have your client interview later, you may ask this client on the goals of what they want to achieve. Okay, a specification, maybe they want it to be lighter, they want it to be smaller, and also the outcomes. So after the project is completed, the client becomes the owner of the product produced by the project. So far, we don't have this kind of project yet, but probably if you can approach a proper client, you may transfer the technology or transfer the prototype to your client, if that kind of situation may happen. Okay, the next cost outcome is on organisation. Okay, mengorganisasi pelaksanaan projek meliputi aspek perancangan, planning, monitoring, financial, marketing and human resource. It sounds familiar to you because you have learned about this on the organisation or on the project management. You take the course last semester, isn't it? Betul? Betul,
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right. So you have learned about project management. So however, in last semester, maybe you don't have a proper project for the project management to assess you. So therefore, the skills or knowledge that you have gained from project management will be assessed in IDP. Okay. So for this cost outcome, I will assess 3 POs or 3 EAC. PO 11, function effectively as individual and as a member or leader. So in this PO, I will assess through supervisor and peer assessment that will bring you 15% of marks. Meaning that at the end of the project, your supervisor will assess every one of you and your peer will assess you in order for you to be evaluated. Are you obtaining or you fulfill this PO or not? In PO 12, it should be demonstrate knowledge and understanding of engineering and management principles. So it's a very clear cut. It is appropriate for cost outcome number 2. And how do I assess? I will look at your project plans and meeting deadlines. So I will assess you. I will follow your every group's progress, and then I will look at your weekly meeting log. And if there is any submission, let's say proposal submission, CVR, client validation report submission, final report presentation. So every group must fulfill the deadlines in order for me to say that you fulfill EAC 12. Any delay or any late submission may affect this mark. For PO13, it's on the entrepreneurship. So it will be assessed during the final presentation, whereby you will present your prototype or your project to the examiners. Okay. So last year we have 2 examiners for each team. So you have to impress the examiners, and it maybe sounds more business-like rather than engineering-like. Okay. And lastly, course outcome number 3, It's about the integration of the software with the right tools in developing computer and communication system capstone project. Here I will assess only two EAC or two POs. One is on the create, select and apply appropriate techniques using the right tools. This will be assessed using your weekly log report, whereby I already asked everyone to explore Trello. Okay, I'm thinking of using it as your as the project management tools, whereby I can assess your weekly progress. And lastly, for PO8 or EAC8, is about the understand the impact of professional engineering solutions in societal and environmental contexts, and demonstrate knowledge of a need for sustainable development. So this will be assessed in the completion of your design project at the end of the semester. Okay, so in total, we will have 7 POs or 7 EACs that will be assessed in this course. Okay, so far, do you have any question regarding the course outcome or program outcome? Anyone? You can interrupt me whenever you don't have to wait for for my presentation to finish if you have any question.
Doctor, I had a question.
Yes, Adi.
So how do we find the client? Can the client be a student or client can be from different group?
Okay, good question. This is something that I think actually the most hassle in this project. Okay, this is something that will drag you down. Last time they contact by email, they call, and they are fortunate enough because they can go and travel and meet the clients and see them face to face. And some of the clients that are very good enough, a company that they drop by in UPM and then they have a proper session with the group. So which I think it is a very, very good. How do you select the client? Okay, it depends on how you refine your prototype later, okay, or your project later. So your prototype can be a simple product, or it can be a system, or it can be services. Okay, so for example, I give example on group AME, automated drying fish, is it something like that? Let's say, so what they aim for is they want to develop a prototype, or maybe for a small enterprise that working on dried fish. So they can approach these companies and do and interview them with regards to the prototype or requirements that they want from, or any problem they encounter in with the current equipment that they have, or with the current practice that they have. Let's say they are still practicing a very manual way of drying fish. So meaning that there are still many humans that have to take out the fishes and put it on the dryer, and then when it's dry enough, they have to put in to have to keep back the fishes and everything. So it's very traditional, very manual way of doing that. So from your client, let's say they are the owner of this small industry. Let's say they may be sometimes they request a very something that you cannot fulfill, something like a machine that can do everything, but with the price of maybe like 50K. Okay, that's kind of very impossible to do. So what you can do is you ask the client to give the problem that they have, and you identify maybe only one problem that you think that you can solve from this IDP. So you do that prototype. Maybe it just on the mechanism, or to say that maybe a sensor that can trigger an alarm when the fish is dry enough, so they don't have to use the timer anymore. It's based on your sensor, so it's already involved with the automation of the drying. So for that, is already good enough for IDP. And that client, since they already spell out this is one of the problem, and you take out that problem, so this is just I mean, you are already fulfilling or answering their requests. So that is one example. Is that good enough, Hadi?
Yes, tak kisah nak, Doctor. Actually, I have another question.
Okay, yeah.
Team from previous semester,
Uh-huh.
the team Persevering Cultural Heritage, do we still follow that theme?
Yes, we still.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to broaden your heritage punya tu. Some of you, I think probably you just think that heritage can be something yang very very old or very precious, okay, yang ada nilai duit. That's why I think a few of you came up with a museum. You have to broaden up the definition of heritage. The river is heritage, the ocean is heritage, the forest is also heritage, okay, the culture is heritage, the things that make us unique in Malaysia is also heritage. So you still have time to refine the definition, to refine your goal or your project scope. Okay, so it's okay to change or to divert a bit your direction from embedded. However, you must get you have to consult your supervisor, and then please discuss with me if it's still feasible or is it still fulfilling the theme or not. Okay. All right. So can I continue?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Thanks. So after that very brief introduction of what is IDP and looking at what happened last semester or last year, so these are actually the project activities that you need to do throughout this week 14. You don't have lecture. It sounds great. You don't have. You should be in lab during during this slot. Yeah. However, due to this, I don't expect you to be in the lab, but I hope at least every group will slot in every Friday afternoon for their IDP task. Okay, first thing that you need to do is identifying a need for a product, service, process, or system. So that's what I mentioned before. You are not necessarily trying to offer a product to a client or to a user. It can be a service. Okay, so because when you sell a product, it can be just one-off profit. So that's why it's a little bit on a business like. If you sell a product, the product is sold, you get one-time income. That's it. But if you offer a service, it can be a monthly basis, it can be half year basis, or a few years basis. So at least it is recurring. Okay. It's also happen to process or system. Second activities, okay, so this task or this activity may take around from week 1 until week 5. So after the briefing, you need to discuss in the group. You have to try to brush up your ideas with your so that you know that what are the things that you need to do in IDP. Don't be very optimistic. Don't be, as if that you can achieve everything. A simple problem with a simple solution is just good enough. As long as you can defend that this project will have big impact to the society, the environment, or for sustainability. Okay. Second activity, you create a team, work effectively together towards common goals. So Alhamdulillah, we achieved this in week 1, okay? Because I also communicating with other coordinators of IDP from other departments. So
some of them they still don't have group in week 1. Okay, I'm so lucky because I inherit this group from embedded, so I don't have all the headache to to create groups, find supervisors, etc., etc. So the only thing that I do this week is just I add Anwar and Mardiana to the existing group. Okay, I hope the group already add them in the WhatsApp group so they can catch up with the project and also can contribute for IDP. Okay, so in activity number 3, you will generate a project proposal and client validation report. So please focus on the duration. Meaning the week 5 until week 7 should be the week that you allocate for this, because that without the client validation report, you cannot define your problem better. Okay, meaning that you put in the proposal saying that this is your problem. So for example, for Amir's project just now, he said that, okay, drying the fish manually is very time consuming and it's inefficient. But then there is no report or there is no client or industry saying that they are still doing that manually. So whatever problem that this group coined out is actually weak, meaning that you don't do any market study because there is no proof the industry is doing this manually. Maybe they already have a very good machine that helps them in drying out the fish. Okay, so that's why the client validation report is important. It's actually to justify that the problem statement that you find out in this project is true, and your client saying that the solution that you want to propose is what they want. Okay, that's why we have the project proposal and client validation report that will be submitted together in week 7. Okay. The next activity is preparing a design. I know that you have designed your prototype last semester. Okay. It's for the sake of embedded. But for the sake of IDP, you need to ensure that the design has been confirmed or it has been good enough for the client. So that they will say, okay, this is the prototype that they want. They want this feature. For example, Amir said, okay, I want to have a temperature sensor so that I know that if the temperature is too high, then it's going to be dry out the fish, for example. So, so if the industry or the client said that, yeah, we need something that will inform us what is the good temperature for us to remove the fish, for example. So Amin said, okay, it will put the temperature sensor. So when that temperature is prolonged for a certain time, meaning that the fish is already dried out. So therefore we will trigger the alarm from time to time to say that, okay, this fish is nearly ready and please take out the fish. That is one example. Okay, so the design supposedly rely on the information that you gather from the literature review and also from the market study, which is your client validation report. Activity number 5, develop the product, service or process or system. So once you have done the design, you already look back at your embedded design. You think that, okay, for example, this motor can be removed. This maybe light sensor can be removed because it's not important, blah, blah, blah. So maybe only left you 2 or 3 sensors and maybe 1 output only, okay? So once you have done the design, then you do the implementation again. So it will happen around week 7 to week 10. And then you do the testing, okay? I have seen the embedded presentation that you have submitted last semester. Many of you didn't plan well for your testing. Testing plan should be derived before you do the testing because you need to understand what are the things or the features that you want to test, or how can you say that this prototype is working perfectly. So what are the parameters or what kind of condition or situation that you want to create in order for you to test the product. So last semester, there are groups that I commented that your test is very weak or it's not convincing or it's not supporting your objective. So you have to look back at that comment. Yeah? So supposedly in week 11 until week 13 of this semester, you must do testing. You may ask me why I need 3 weeks, doctor, for the product testing, because this product testing that we are talking about is not only in a controlled environment, meaning that it's not a lab prototype. It should be a real working prototype. So if you want to put this prototype outdoor, meaning that these 3 weeks it should be outdoor, not indoor anymore. Indoor is when you trying to test the sensor, you try to test the setup or whatsoever. Once it's ready, in order for you to know that it's working correctly, for example, dustbin by Group Alif, if I'm not mistaken. So this dustbin, you said that it should be in outdoor, in the forest. So you have to test the product in that kind of setup. So you have to put it outdoor, okay? So that's why you need 3 weeks. Then you have the examining the business viability aspect of the project. So actually you have to do it throughout the semester, but in week 14 you will only able to see that once the design is ready and the test results are ready. Last activity is preparing for the presentation and the final report. So it's gonna be week 13 and week 14. Any questions so far?
No.
Ada nak tanya ke? Tak ada.
Doktor,
Ya, Danish.
contohnya kalau kita nak present kan,
Hmm?
so kita kena present dekat klien juga ke? Ataupun dekat lecturer je?
Setakat ni saya punya plan is with the examiners only. Sebab katalah you jumpa klien A. Dia cakap okay dia nak feature 1, 2, 3, 4. Lepas tu you kata okay kita bagi you feature number 1. Lepas tu you dah buat testing. At the end of semester, kalau lah saya kata saya nak suruh industri ataupun klien jadi you punya examiner untuk presentation tu kan, I'm afraid that dia akan kata, I bagi you 4 features. Kenapa you bagi I 1 je? Ataupun at the end dia kata, kenapa you pilih features number 1 I think features number 2 and 3 tu lagi important daripada feature number 1. Nampak tak kat situ? So I try to reduce the risk of the industry will try to control your project. Sedangkan itu adalah perspektif daripada dia seorang je. Unless you can conduct market study kepada 10 company yang hampir sama, lepas tu rata-rata kata feature number 1 adalah yang paling penting. Itu tak apa. Tapi kalau you cuma manage to interview 1 je, lepas tu dia kata dia nak yang tu je. So it's not really a feedback from the whole industry itu tadi. Baru seorang sahaja. So due to that, unless lah nanti kalau saya boleh dapat contact orang lain lah, maksudnya third party yang tak pernah involved with the market study, tapi orang ni maybe dia boleh bagi feedback on that ataupun can assess you punya presentation, itu maybe lah tapi so far I only plan for examiners, lecturers from the department. Walaupun ada kekurangan di situ adalah because we are still from the academic. So sometimes we cannot value your project tu sebab mungkin dia nampak simple je kan, untuk akademik macam sekejap je buat benda tu, seminggu siap dah kan. But then maybe for the industry, apa yang you propose tadi nampak simple but it's actually what they want. So dia ada, what should I say, adalah dia pro and cons dekat situ. Kalau saya cuma keep the examiners from the department only, ataupun saya cuba ambil your client juga sebagai examiner, adalah dia punya pro and cons. So the ideal case adalah saya dapat industri yang bukan your client dan juga saya combine dengan examiners from the department. That's the ideal case lah. Okay, but I try. Cuma itulah, maybe masa ni kita boleh kata ramai orang ada waktu yang sangat lapang sebenarnya untuk diganggu dan kalau boleh nak contribute. Ya, setakat tengok video korang present ataupun setakat Zoom meeting kan, sepatutnya tak ada masalah. But we will look at it lah throughout the semester. Kita tengok COVID ni macam mana, orang dah balik office ke belum. Kalau dah balik office tu memang susah nak tangkap orang. Tapi kalau still masih work from home, then it should be easier. Okay?
Betul. Lagi satu, presentation tu dalam bentuk macam mana?
Okay. Saya boleh katakan presentation tu dia lain sikit. Actually pitching. It's business pitching. Business pitching but with good evidence. Sebab tu you kena ada results yang convincing. Contohlah kata kalau you dry your fish guna this system, you boleh dry from our calculation you boleh dry 1000 ekor ikan sehari. Sebab kenapa? Sebab bila kita ada temperature sensor ni, kita dah tahu dah when the fish is ready. So you tak perlulah pakai timer. Kalau dulu you kata setiap kali you dry ikan you dapat 3 kali cycle je. 3 kali cycle, satu tray boleh dapat 200. So you dapat 600 ekor ikan je pada satu hari. Tapi kalau you pakai kita orang punya, you akan dapat 1000 ekor ikan satu hari. Meaning that you don't just say it, but you prove it. You pitch with good evidence. Is that okay, Danish? So dia
okay.
So kalau dulu embedded you cuma present, okay, this product working. Dia boleh baca reading, dia boleh ada output. Macam tu je, kan? But you don't relate that to your problem. You don't really analyze, will that solution will improve the problem that you state masa awal-awal tu. Okay, so itu beza dia, embedded mini project dengan IDP. So you kena fikir macam businessman sikit kat sini. Not only engineer but also businessman. So always talk about profit, always talk about how much money you can save, how much people that you can reduce, okay, human resource that you can reduce, ataupun how much time that you can save. Okay. Alright, saya continue
Okay, thank you Doktor.
Okay, bagus-bagus, tanya je. Okay, saya continue. Okay, in overall, your project timeline is something like this. Tadi I give you in a table, but more or less it looks like this. You start from the team formation, project selection, and then you will do the business and marketing evaluation, whereby you will see the client, you do the client validation report, and then you will do the project proposal. Lepas tu proposal presentation, maybe ini hanya kepada saya sahaja, bukan kepada examiner. Why I need that? So that I know what you will do is enough, or 7 weeks is enough for you to achieve whatever that you promise. Okay, so that's why I need the project proposal presentation only to me. And then you do the project development, you test, then evaluate, and lastly you will do project presentation and demonstration, which is pitching, and also final report. Okay, so banyak kan kerja? Walaupun you all ada 4 orang atau 5 orang dalam satu group, banyak sangat kerja. Okay, so in order for you to do that, you will have to practice your project management knowledge or skills, whereby you need to design, you develop, you analyze, you evaluate, and you may have to redesign balik and develop. So it's a cycle. Jangan, okay lah dah siap lah prototype kita ni, kita test, evaluate, dapat lah 0% accuracy dia. Do you want to present to me at the end of the semester nanti with 0% accuracy? You don't want to do that, right? So that's why you have to go in cycle again. Sampai you dapat something yang, saya tak adalah kata sampai 100% accuracy. Maybe 50%, 70% of accuracy should be good enough. Okay. Alright, I think ini yang paling penting lah. Please take note on this, the deadlines. Yeah. So starting from next week, every week you have to do or you have to update your log report. So later I will create satu board untuk setiap team on Trello. So maksudnya saya nak tengok setiap orang apa yang dia contribute dalam board tu. Contoh seorang ni dia in charge of finding the client. Okay, apa yang dia dah buat in order for him or for her to find the client. Mungkin dia kata, alright, dia Google around this and then dia jumpa 10 companies yang nampak macam boleh dijadikan sebagai client. Okay, mungkin dekat situ nanti ada compare lah. Okay, company ni buat apa, company ni buat apa, company ni buat apa. Mungkin yang ni bagi prototype, jual sistem, yang ni jual produk, bla bla bla. So dia dapatkan semua alamat, email dan apa sahaja information yang perlulah untuk the team decide on nak approach atau tak approach. Okay, so in weekly basis saya akan tengok what you have updated. Okay, so contohlah minggu lepas you kata you cari client list. Minggu ni, oh masih lagi cari client list. Minggu depan, oh masih lagi cari client list without any details. So meaning that rasa-rasa kerja tu bergerak tak? Tak. So yang bestnya dulu saya minta last year saya minta weekly report tu, diorang buat report asing-asing, submit dekat Putra Blast. Maksudnya members tak tahu apa yang direportkan. Itu satu kekurangan yang saya perasan last semester. So dia boleh claim, oh kerja ni pun dia buat, kerja yang ini pun dia buat. Sebab dia kan dia dah meeting kan. Dia dah meeting, lepas tu dia cakap, oh benda ni dah buat, benda ni dah buat, benda ni dah buat. Sedangkan yang buat-buat tadi tu adalah members dia, bukan dia. Tetapi bila dia hantar project report tu independently, hanya saya je yang baca dan supervisor je yang nampak. So members dia tak tahu yang dia claim kerja orang lain juga. So dekat Trello ni, no secret. What you claim, all the members will know. Okay. So kalau kau nak claim kerja orang lain, it's impossible lah. So itu kerja orang lain yang buat kan. You, what you did, you know that what is your responsibility. You supposedly update on that information. Okay. So I will check. So akan ada 12 group, so 12 board yang saya akan check selepas hari Jumaat. So maksudnya start dari weekend sampai sebelum next Friday tu saya akan check setiap board tu. Tengoklah kalau saya rajin saya tengok Sabtu. Kalau saya rajin lebih lagi Friday 12:01 tu saya dah check dah. I will assess that, okay, and the marks given is 15%. Okay. Untuk client validation report in week 7, okay, deadline dia week 7, kita akan ada client validation report dan project proposal. Yang ini kita akan submit dekat Putra Blast. Okay. So, dan saya hanya perlu wakil saja untuk ataupun ketua je yang submitkan the report, who will assess me and the supervisor. Maksudnya supervisor tengok betul ke design project ni rupa dia macam ni, clear ke apa yang nak buat, okay, betul ke yang design dia ni tadi supported by the client validation report, etc. etc. So it's 20 marks. So selepas tu adalah week 14 whereby you need to submit your final report, then you do pitching Okay, ini markah yang paling besar sekali because kita nak tengok apa yang terjadi selama 14 minggu tu. Okay, and you will be assessed by the supervisor. Okay, you will be assessed by examiners. Examiners akan tengok masa pitching and also the project completion. I will see the final report. So, sebab kenapa saya yang baca final report? Sebab saya yang baca proposal. Sebab saya ada baca proposal, so I know what you promise and what actually you can achieve. Okay? Saya tak boleh nak tukar-tukar proposal dengan final report dengan orang lain pula sebab nanti dia tak tahu what you have you proposed. Okay? Dari minggu 2 hingga minggu 14, project plan and meeting deadlines, ini yang saya kata tadi, tengok hantar proposal patutnya hari Jumaat katalah, hari Jumaat 12 tengah hari. Tapi tunggu, tim ni tak hantar-hantar. So it's already ada late submission kat situ. So looking at how good you plan, so nanti you all ada juga dekat Trello kan. Dekat Trello tu you kata by next week kita buat ni, by next week kita kena buat apa. So saya nak tengok dekat Trello tu betul tak apa yang you buat tu, berjaya tak you buat seperti yang you plan tu. And then you fulfill tak the deadlines yang saya bagi sepanjang 14 minggu. Lepas tu last sekali supervisor and peer assessment. So supervisor and peer assessment is actually watching you throughout this 14 weeks because they are going to give you 15% mark. Okay. So in total what you get adalah 100%. Nothing less, nothing more. Inilah yang akan tentukan what is the grade for your 4 credits. Okay. Puas hati tak tengok ni? Ada nak clarify ataupun nak negotiation?
Doktor, sorry, maaf.
Okay, tak apa. Tanya je Zul.
Saya mandangkan doktor dah kenal, tak perlu perkenalkan diri lah kot
Ada nama keluar.
Okay, so just want to ask about the marks. Macam mana dia punya pembahagian markah untuk this project delivery?
Okay, setiap thank you Azul, pandai Azul tanya. Okay, untuk setiap deliverables ni dia ada rubrik tau. Dia bukan main suka hati je. Ala Dr. Syam ni main letak-letak je kan. Grup yang dia suka tu dia bagi markah tinggi. Grup dia tak suka dia bagi markah rendah. No, I don't. So setiap contohnya macam log report. Saya ada, dulu saya last semester saya bagi dekat supervisor. So saya dah guide, okay, what are the things that you need to assess in order for you to mark the log report. So apa yang saya observe masa tu adalah dia tengok nasib pula pada supervisor. Ada supervisor jenis kedekut markah dia, walaupun dia ikut rubrik tapi lepas tu dia kata budak ni, dia kata dekat WhatsApp pun tak reply, dekat ini pun tak respon, tak pernah bagi pendapat ni semua kan. So dia walaupun saya dah bagi rubrik tapi dia masih tak konsisten. So tengok nasib lah kan. Tapi selalunya supervisor semua baik-baik. Okay. So what I try to do this semester is I will do the checking on the weekly log report because saya boleh nampak semua. Katalah saya punya benchmark adalah grup Amir kan. Dia kata set-set dia dah update, set-set dia dah update. Tiba-tiba ada grup ni sikit je dia punya notes ataupun task yang dia letak dalam Trello tu kan. So saya kena tahu, saya nak tengok apa sebenarnya benchmark saya. Okay, kalau saya kata sepatutnya minimum sepatutnya ada to do, ada client to contact, ada components to buy, macam ni. Saya dah ada. So standardize, saya dah standardize. Setiap group sepatutnya ada tu, setiap group sepatutnya ada update untuk setiap tu. So that is going to be my rubric. Untuk client validation report dan project proposal tu very clear cut sebab dia bertulis kan. Saya yang itu saya memang dah ada rubrics dari last semester. Dan last semester pun saya seorang je yang assess. So dia kena ada fulfill lah. Contoh client validation report tu kena datang daripada 2 orang. Daripada 2 orang tu dia kena list outkan problem dia, kena list outkan features dia, kena list outkan apa yang dia nak. Dalam project proposal kena ada benda ni, kena ada benda ni, ada benda ni, section ni. Dan last kali metodologi apa yang dia nak, dan komponen siapa yang dia nak beli ataupun setup macam mana yang dia nak buat. So every single thing yang saya buat kat sini memang ada rubriks kecuali meeting deadlines lah, senang je yang tu. Sebab siapa yang merah je dekat Putra Belah, saya potonglah markah. So katalah dia lambat 3 kali submission. Kalau ada 5 je submission, so 2/5 darab berapa markah of deadline. Itu je lah. Itu tak ada rubrik. Yang lain tu ada rubrik. Macam kalau korang tengok yang presentation punya rubrik kan, supervisor and peer assessment, selalunya rubrik ni semua saya akan share dekat you all. So you don't have to worry. Okay? Boleh Zul?
Boleh, thank you Doktor.
Okay. Saya tahu 4 kredit ni. 4 kredit ni doktor jangan main-main kita orang kan. Okay. Right, so this is example of weekly log report. Saya nampak Trello ni macam okey lah. Actually ada lagi option lain kalau you all tengok. Tapi of course mula-mula semua kata free kan. Lepas tu bila upgrade nanti akan kena bayar sikit. Saya tengok Trello ni dia pandai lah, dia promote. Dia kata Google Team pun pakai Trello. So mainlah kita jadi macam ala-ala Google kan. Kita try dan tengok walaupun dan dia punya setup tu lebih macam nak cakap lebih funky lah sikit daripada ada project management tools. Sebab saya dah tengok teamwork sebenarnya nice lagi, tapi tak apalah, kita try Trello. Okay, are you okay with this?
Okay. Saya nampak serabut sikit Doktor.
Serabut sikit kan Azman kan? Sebab
too many item.
too many items. Okay. Macam banyak sangat. Okay. Saya pun agak pening pada mula-mulanya sebab ada benda yang kalau saya pakai template tu saya tak boleh remove the card tu. The item yang macam contoh saya nak kat sini kan, saya nak rename script and scratchpad ni, saya tak jumpa cara lagi. So kalau you rasa Trello ni not that good, sekejap sebab saya ada jumpa satu lagi nama dia work. Saya dah try. You are looking at my screen now kan? You are nampak Chrome?
Nampak Doktor.
Teamwork ni nampak nice juga. Saya dah enroll juga yang ini. Tunjuk jap. Banyak pula. Aiman aktif. Oh, kan dia tengah ni ke? Alamak, saya lupa dah password saya ni. Oh, okey. Aduh. Dah. Sekejap. Tak apa. Nanti tengok muka saya je Sambil tu boleh tanya lagi. Apa lagi yang you rasa pasal Trello ni yang tak best?
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Salam ya.
Saya Mariana.
Okey, Mariana.
Doktor, saya nak patah balik ke klien, hal-hal klien tadi.
Okey, sekejap
Saya
so slide yang mana ya?
tak, saya nak.
Okey. Tanya je.
Apa tu? Dry salted fish.
Okey.
Soalan saya, klien tu kita kena approach mesti di kalangan salted fish tu je ke, ataupun kita boleh approach macam contoh inventor ke, orang yang jual-jual barang macam salesman ke, macam tu boleh ke tak?
Selalunya untuk product requirements, orang yang paling tahu adalah orang yang menggunakan produk tu.
Okay.
So dia tahu apa, yalah macam contohlah you all pakai, katalah you all pakai blender. You all tahu dah, okay blender ni, okay katalah kita nak invent blender, apa yang you nak tukar first kali? Yang you nak improve in blender. Kita tahu dah kan, because we know it, we use it every day. So kita kata tak nak blender tu bunyi bising, for example. Itu first requirement. So sebab kita akan approach the user ataupun the person yang generate duit ataupun menggunakan, rely kepada benda ni heavily. Kalau you approach inventor can be dia invent benda lain juga.
Okay, faham tak?
Okay. Sorry lah, saya distracted with the sound.
Tak apa, terima kasih
Okay,
Doktor.
sama. Saya dah tak dapat dah masuk dalam teamwork ni. Kenapa password saya? Sekejap.
Doktor,
Ya.
nak tanya soalan tentang kalau macam ada klien yang suruh update features, maksudnya kena tambah mana sensor lagi. Allocation untuk budget tu ada tak?
Thank you for asking that. Okay, tadi Amir last semester tiap group hanya dapat RM50. Dan nampaknya semester ni pun macam itulah, kecuali kalau your supervisor tu dia ada grant. Kalau dia ada grant yang boleh cover sikit you punya expenditure tu, okey lah. Last semester you dapat RM50 kan untuk embedded?
Katanya allocation dia macam tu.
Dapat claim tak?
Tak claim lagi.
Tak claim lagi, lambat macam ni. Dia selepas 3 bulan receipt tu dah obsolete
Macam mana nak claim?
Kena bagi kat Dr. Faisal.
Oh, Dr. Bayas tak cakap apa-apa pula tentang claim.
Ya? Korang buat lupa, dia buat lupa lah. For my case, untuk IDP, kalau you all ada beli barang, setakat ni yang saya confirm RM50 lah, unless nanti saya tanya balik Dr. Bong, kalau dia kata ada extra lagi duit, bolehlah saya upkan sikit setiap group. Tapi contohnya kalau ada group yang memerlukan lebih daripada RM50, please let me know apa benda yang you all nak beli. That's why dekat planning tu ataupun dalam week awal-awal ni, kalau boleh you terus decide besar mana, kat mana, apa barang you nak beli, so that kita boleh talk about your budget. Bila kalau ada proposal yang dah ni ataupun reason yang valid, senanglah saya nak sembang dengan Dr. Bong. Okay.
Doktor, kalau macam contoh untuk sensor tu, ada sensor kan dia tak berapa ni accurate. So maybe
more or less lah.
So kalau macam klien tu dia nak satu sensor yang accurate, macam mana? Apa kita orang nak perlu cakap?
Okay. Dalam hal ni, kita tak perlulah as accurate as apa yang dia nak. Kita untuk IDP kita proof of concept. Maksudnya katalah sensor you ni boleh je detect panas sangat, panas sikit ataupun tak panas. Cukuplah dulu because you are trying to prove the concept. So kalau nak ikut apa yang industrial punya spec, memang tak cukup lah duit IDP ni. Okay. Saya tak berjaya buka teamwork nanti saya tengok balik.
So doktor, macam yang untuk jawapan untuk Amir ni, so ni kalau kita punya produk tu tak capai requirement yang klien nak pun tak apa lah.
Tak apa, ya. Tu sebab saya takut nak jadikan dia orang sebagai you all punya examiner. Sebab dia ingat kita ada banyak duit, tiba-tiba sensor kita beli yang sensor yang berapa ringgit je kan. Nanti dia kata ni setakat sensor berapa ringgit je ni, macam mana? So at least kalau you boleh improve pada konsep untuk academician, benda tu boleh prove. Memang kita perlukan sensor yang lagi mahal in order it to be more sensitive. Boleh lah nanti you all, itulah sebabnya you all kena pitching tau. Sebab you all kena tahu kenapa you tak boleh sampai apa yang klien nak tadi. Apa sebab dia?
Doktor, ada soalan lain. Kalau macam contoh klien tu, apa yang kita buat prototype tu, kita tentang nak selesaikan masalah A, tapi klien dia more kepada masalah B. So kita kena tukar almost all of the prototype. Perlukah kita ikut ataupun stick on our prototype?
Itu sebab saya kata minimum 2 tu. Minimum 2 klien, sebab kita nak tahu betul ke problem yang orang tu kata tadi adalah problem yang main. Sebab dia seorang je bercakap kan. So kalau you boleh dapat ataupun you boleh interview more than one, at least 2 lah. At least 2 dan bos cakap benda tu adalah penting, dan kita boleh, baru kita modify accordingly. Tapi tak semestinya, dia tengoklah, that's why saya kena tengok apa yang you nak modify. Sebab you have to remember, in this project you ada 7 minggu je yang betul-betul technical. 7 minggu lagi bukan technical pun.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright. Bagus juga tanya soalan tu sebab saya lupa nak highlight. First 7 weeks ni is actually you all buat literature, you all interview, you all check pattern, you all tengok business ideas, semua tu kan. The next 7 weeks baru you all akan involve with the board, nak buat prototype, nak buat testing, whatsoever, baru nak ke arah engineering sikit. So itu je menyebabkan IDP ni dia lain daripada projek-projek yang lain. Dia bukan totally technical. Technical is just like 30% of the job that you will deliver in this semester. Okay? Okay, kita back to Trello. Nanti saya tengok balik Trello ni. Nanti saya create, saya cuba balik teamwork tu. Nanti saya share balik dalam group. Juga tengok teamwork tu macam mana. Ada satu lagi semalam, Asana kot. Asana dia okey juga, simpler. Tapi saya rasa saya cuba tengok teamwork lagi. Okay? Saya ingat korang funky-funky, mesti korang nak Trello. Saya pun okey lah, funky-funky. Korang kan jiwa muda kan. Pergi kat Trello ni, kalau korang kata semak, okey tak apa. Saya terimalah pendapat tu. Okey, kita tengok dulu Trello ataupun teamwork ataupun Asana, ada 3. Sekejap. Okay, saya continue. Alright, more or less client validation report tu dia akan ada 3 components ni lah, on the problem definition, the design description and the evaluation of the prototype tu ataupun of your design tadi tu. Tapi don't worry, I will share the template of the project proposal and CVR later. Okay, sebab when the time comes tu baru saya akan bagi briefing lagi dan describe balik apa yang you perlu. So sekarang ni mungkin first week or 2 weeks ni you all cari list and then boleh discuss. First weeks boleh jumpa supervisor dulu, lepas tu dapatkan senarai, lepas tu nak design interview questions, bla 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 bla. Yang tu saya akan guide juga. Alright. So itu tadi adalah main information of IDP. Yang ini adalah something yang saya rasa saya perlu remind to all of you, because saya tak nak nanti you kata IDP ni macam tak ada contribute apa-apa pun, kan, tak ada belajar teknikal, lepas tu dah tak ada kelas, tak ada exam, tak ada apa-apa, tiba-tiba dapat 4 credits and you don't know how you actually get in. I would like to remind you that these are the desired attributes of an engineer. Firstly, a good understanding of engineering science fundamentals. You may say that IDP ni tak nampak pun technical dia, tetapi semasa you nak design ataupun sebelum you pergi jumpa klien, you need to understand the fundamental concept of every project that you do. Okay, contohnya you nak tengok on water quality, so you have to understand what is the definition of water quality, what are the parameters ataupun water parameters that you want, you need to look at before you say that this is good water quality, this is poor water quality. And then you need to understand the sensor. So sensor, to understand the sensor itself is already engineering, science fundamentals. So I don't say that bila you IDP ni, you pergi jumpa orang, otak kosong, tak ada apa-apa nak tanya, nothing. No engineering knowledge at all. You must study before you do the client validation interview ataupun sebelum you tulis client validation report. Okay. Secondly, you must have good understanding of design and manufacturing processes. Okay, contohnya especially macam drying fish, you tak boleh datang situ kata, oh saya rasa drying fish ni macam ni je proses dia. No, you cannot. You need to understand how actually the normal concept ataupun the normal manufacturing line works. Contoh untuk orang museum, museum kena tahu apa sebenarnya how actually the museum punya environment tu is control. Okay, pakai sistem apa selama ni ataupun commonly, macam mana dia install, apa yang dia tengok, parameter apa yang dia akan record, apa yang akan trigger something. So all that you need to understand before you go further. Lepas tu a multidisciplinary or system perspective. Okay, of course, sekarang ni when you involve with IDP, you are not looking only at the computer and communication side, but you are looking at the overall system ataupun the overall problem. Then basic understanding of context in which engineering is practiced. Contohnya economics. So macam saya cakap tadi, you need someone to read on what is return on investment. You need to on the productivity, on time management or time saving, cost saving whatsoever, all about the economics. And then you will learn about the history a little bit. So contoh macam Amir punya group, dulu-dulu dry ikan macam mana, sekarang ni tahun 80-an macam mana, tahun 2020 ni macam mana orang dry ikan. Lepas tu kena check balik sell of ikan, ada export ke, import ke, whatsoever. Dan tengok juga pada logistik dia. Lepas tu check on the environment kan, macam aku cakap dengan Amir seorang je kan, mesti korang kata, grup Amir je duk ingat. Grup yang lain aku tak ingat sangat projek dia. The environment. Kalau contoh dulu kita drykan ikan with the sun. But you know that kalau industri ikan ni, kalau musim tengkujuh, they cannot dry the ikan. So you kata you nak propose heater, tetapi you know kalau pakai heater, actually indirectly you akan ada air pollution to it. So you have to be concerned about the environment jugalah. Yeah? And then customer and societal needs. So antara sihat dan cepat, yang mana lagi penting? Sihat lagi penting lah daripada cepat. So those are things, siapa kata engineer fikir pasal komputer je kan? Tak. Sekarang you kena fikir banyak benda. Okay. And then you must have good communication skills. So I believe lepas you all dah habis internship ni, semua dah bijak berbicara kan. Betul? Sebab dah 10 minggu under boss, you cakap dengan your colleagues, lepas tu your boss suruh present, your boss suruh tulis report, lepas tu your boss maybe suruh you buat some graphics, presentation tu kena ada graphical info, okay, whatsoever, and probably you dah involved dengan meeting, so you listen to people. Okay, so these are 4 important communication skills. Saya rasa you all semua dah ada yang tu. Okay, saya just nak remind saja. Kita habis lagi ni. Banyak attributes of engineer. Next thing adalah high ethical standards. So contohnya kalau you dapat information tu daripada somebody, you kena cite lah. Ataupun tadi kata jumpa klien A. Lepas tu dia kata feature 1, benda ni feature 2, feature 3, feature 4. Tiba-tiba sampai dekat you punya report, dah bertukar dah feature 1 sampai 4 tu dah jadi benda lain. You tak tulis apa yang dia nak. That is also ethical, ya. Lepas tu, an ability to think both critically and creatively. So, you are not only solving the problem, but you are trying to find a solution yang lebih baik dan mungkin kos dia lagi murah. Okay? Dan mungkin boleh dibuat oleh siapa-siapa pun. So those are things that you need to consider lah. Okay? Flexibility, the ability and self-confidence to adapt to rapid or major change. So yang ini yang saya kata, what if tiba-tiba nanti week 14 saya kata, okay all of you, saya dah dapat examiner daripada industri. So you all prepare lah something yang from the perspective of industry yang suka benda tu. So you have to adapt to it. Sebab ada banyak benda yang saya tak boleh nak decide sekarang. Kena tengok pada keadaan COVID juga. Lepas tu curiosity and desire to learn for life. So you are not just doing this just for IDP, even though I know it's for credit and it's a compulsory for you to graduate. And then lastly, profound understanding of the importance of teamwork. Saya rasa kalau saya nak senaraikan semua feedback yang saya dapat daripada semua student IDP last year, kebanyakannya memang akan cakap pasal teamwork. Okay? Berjaya atau tak berjayanya satu team tu untuk achieve atau untuk complete dia punya project memang rely on teamwork. Dia tak boleh seorang je yang buat kerja. Walaupun saya tahu masa embedded ni seorang je yang pegang hardware-nya pun. Kan? Betul tak? Ke tak betul? Betul?
Betul.
Okay. Saya tahu setiap group memang ada satu je anchor yang pegang hardware. Orang lain tak boleh nak pegang hardware sebab kita tak boleh nak dapat banyak set sangat. So, however, even though you are not the one that handling the hardware, but you always can contribute in other things. Especially macam IDP ni, takkan orang hardware juga kot nak fikirkan yang business. Dia dah pening kepala dah tu macam mana nak buat hardware. And then maybe orang lain juga kena fikir okay, macam mana nak supaya benda ni lebih sustainable. Contohnya kalau Hazman punya tu katalah pakai bateri baru 2-3 jam bateri dah kaput dah. Tak boleh pakai dah tong sampah dia. So macam mana nak buat? So orang lain kena fikirkan macam mana nak improvekan battery life tadi tu. Okay, ataupun macam mana cara supaya dia tak perlu pakai bateri, mungkin pakai solar panel ke whatsoever. So when you can distribute the job fairly, dia tak seorang sajalah yang sakit kepala and everybody will learn something at the end of it. Okay. Okay. Ini role saya. Kenapa saya kena bagi tahu you all? Saya tak bagi tahu pun tak apa sebenarnya. Tetapi to be ethical, kita bagi tahu saya kerja apa yang saya buat kerja. Firstly, I will be the liaison between the department and the client. So contohnya, you all nak contact one industry, selalunya dia akan kata boleh tak mintakan surat rasmi daripada department yang mengatakan you all buat study ni dan saya ni adalah untuk di-interview. Selalunya yang ini you all kena bagi tahu saya. You all nak surat tu untuk siapa, baru saya boleh ajukan dekat HOD untuk keluarkan surat. So katalah sebab ada banyak klien tu dia tak nak kalau tak ada any official letter from the department. Secondly, coordinate the project selection and student allocation in teams. Yang ini saya dah buat dan actually Dr. Faisal yang buat asalnya. Tetapi dia communicate dengan saya lah masa embedded tu. Untuk number 3, conduct the capstone orientation seminar and deliver the course lectures. So time to time saya tak panggil lecture lah, saya panggil briefing ataupun lebih kepada information sharing. Okay, it's not really just a lecture. Macam sekarang, hari ni pun kita bukan saya bagi lecture lah, you all akan clarify things kan, tanya je soalan, just interrupt me. Lepas tu coordinate the capstone project activities and maintain the deadline. So from time to time saya akan announce bila deadline, So kalau ada hurdles, contohnya kalau you all kata tak jumpa klien doktor ataupun klien ni dia tunggu PKPB habis doktor baru dia nak jumpa, dia tak mau pakai handphone. Then kita kena cari cara lain lah ataupun mungkin saya kena gancatkan deadline. Tapi jangan guna alasan ni pula nanti kan. So next, check the logbook and portfolio monthly ataupun weekly basis. Participate in the project evaluation, that's why I will be there. Guide the student learning process and manage the team. So I am here throughout the semester. Actually 24/7 IDP tak pernah working hours. Sebab kalau dulu student suka stay dekat lab tu nantilah pukul 10 malam tiba-tiba dia dah WhatsApp tanya macam-macam. Okay? So I will be here helping you and trying to help you to manage the team. Okay, so everyone ada supervisor. So saya kena bagi tahu juga apa role supervisor. Jangan letak nama supervisor je. Lepas tu asyik tanya Dr. Syam je. Tak boleh. You kena discuss dengan supervisor. So one faculty member will advise a team. The team could meet their advisor weekly to consult him in technical issues and seek advice. So ada supervisor yang hebat. Dia boleh guide you on the business juga. So please make use of your supervisor, especially yang hebat-hebat ni. Supervisor semester ni sangat hebat. Saya nak kacau pun saya takut sebenarnya sebab semuanya management je. Nasib baik CNCA tak kata dia nak jadi advisor. So advisory committee is advising team. So they can be from different disciplines and background. However, kita tak dapat different discipline and background sebab department lain pun ada IDP dia sendiri. So you can consult the supervisor with regard to your project and who are the clients. Kadang-kadang kalau you cari dekat internet tak jumpa. Tetapi katalah you bagi tahu dekat supervisor, tengok kawan baik supervisor. Takkan senang tu nak dapat contact. Okay? So please make use of them. Right. Your team roles. Yeah. Of course, you know this. I don't have to remind this, but I need to say this again, that you need to contribute to overall project objectives. Bukan hanya seorang. Okay? To tell you the truth, kalau ada seorang je yang buat kerja for IDP dalam team tu, kalau orang tu komplain kat saya akan cakap jangan letak dah nama orang lain. Dalam proposal tak payah letak, CVR tak payah letak, final presentation kau present je seseorang. Members lain tak perlu ada. Okay? So pernah terjadi seorang ni memang dia tak contribute at all lah. Jadi dia terkeluar. So I think they fail IDP pun sebab dia masa IDP dia dah tarik diri siap-siap. Masa embedded tu dia dah problem. Okay? Complete individual deliverables. Nanti selepas ni saya nak tahu siapa leader. Sekejap sebelum tu. Banyak sangat cakap macam saya. Sekejap. Attendance. Tak ada orang pun tanya saya attendance. Okay. Saya baru letak dalam chat room tu Google document untuk attendance while you are listening to me. Sekejap. Okay. So fill in the attendance while you are listening to me. Next is provide expertise. So setiap orang saya rasa ada expertise masing-masing. Ada orang dia pandai tulis report. Ada orang dia pandai buat presentation. Ada orang dia creative enough to design the interior ataupun exterior part of the prototype. Ada orang memang dia hardware je tapi dia tak boleh nak buat casing cantik. Dia tak boleh nak buat benda tu lebih catchy whatsoever. So you tahu apa you punya strength. Offer your strength to your team. Okay? Work with all members to determine and meet project needs. Document the process. Ini yang paling susah sekali nak buat. Kadang-kadang you kata, saya dah contact dah orang ni. Dia cakap macam ni. Tapi you don't know how to document that. How to prove that you already contact that person. That's why nanti dalam kita punya project management tools tu, setiap group boleh share macam mana you buat. Okay, katalah you ada contact of the client. Maybe you just create an Excel file. Okay, bagi tahu ini nama company, ini nama orang yang you contact, ni email dia, ini nombor telefon dia. To prove that, yes, you already obtain the details of the company. So, please practice lah macam mana nak documentkan step proses. Contoh, you design. Design pertama macam mana? Maybe you sketch. So, the sketch tu itself dah dijadikan sebagai satu dokumen. Okay? Lastly, motivate and tolerate with each other, especially during this time yang mana mungkin tak semua orang ada internet access yang sama. Okay? Ada orang internet dia limited, ada orang tengok pula ada pagi dia okey, petang dia tak okey. So setiap orang kena tahu masalah masing-masing dan di tolerant with each other. Alright, ini things to do next. Banyak kerja nak bagi ni. Ini baru first briefing. Okay, yang ini saya KIV. Okay, first thing adalah create your project board on Trello.com. So Trello ni saya KIV nanti saya inform balik dalam WhatsApp group. So I will create board for each team. Okay, board ataupun project whatsoever for each team. So what I want you to do now, sebelum kita ada Trello ataupun kita ada teamwork ni, you design ataupun you discuss in group what are the necessary tasks in order for you to complete your project. So kalau kita pakai Trello tadi tu dia ada macam boxes tu kan, dia macam stickers tu. So what you want the stickers to be. Lepas tu assign person in charge for each task. So I know that person yang hardware tu mungkin tak tahulah dia nak lagi ke tak pegang hardware tu, katalah dia tak mau pegang dah hardware tu, maybe bolehlah redistribute balik the job, kata pas dekat orang lain ke, dia dah penat ke, atau you want to buy another set, maybe ada 2 orang buat hardware, so kalau dia stuck at least dua-dua boleh try ke. So this is up to your team members to decide. Second thing, meet your supervisor to refresh on your project. Okay, identify this. First adalah refine the product or system that you want to develop. Sebab yang last semester punya tu ada banyak benda yang you kena improve atau ada banyak problems, maybe problem statement, objektif tu tak kena. Okay, discuss that to your supervisor. By the way, saya share juga Excel file yang saya bagi feedback tu kepada your supervisor tau. So maksudnya supervisor pun tahu apa kelemahan ataupun apa komen-komen yang saya dah bagi kepada setiap group tu. Okay, so then you find the stakeholders ataupun client. So it can be industry, user, research laboratory or expert in the area of yang you tengah buat project ni lah. So minimum is 2. Kalau you dapat banyak lagi bagus, because it's gonna be more strong for you to defend during your presentation later on. Lepas tu saya rasa ada dah dekat embedded, ada group ada group yang tak ada. Members role, saya nak tahu leader. Lepas tu siapa yang in charge R&D, siapa in charge of the client, siapa in charge of the procurement, whatever. Okay. Lepas tu identify the activities and resource planning. Okay, so katalah you circuit you nak pakai je yang lama, then you have to mention lah circuit memang dah yang lama tu masih working. So apa benda yang nak buat lagi. So for now kita assume kita akan dapat RM50 daripada department ni. Okay. Lepas item 2E, cost estimation of the project. Yang ini saya rasa you all dah biasa buat ni, costing So setiap you punya components, whatever that you need. Then risk and challenges. Macam saya cakap hari tu, sepatutnya you all dah tahu dah nanti kat mana you nak set up you punya prototype tu. So katalah kalau prototype tu boleh buat kat rumah, you still have a condition untuk buat benda tu, is okay lah. Tapi kalau tak ada, what will be your, so that's going to be your challenge. So how are you going to overcome the challenge? Contoh group, Danish kan, buat bubu kan Danish kan?
Ya, doktor.
Okay, hari tu dia demo letak dalam besen je. So sekarang ni macam mana lah katanya kalau saya nak suruh set up dekat the real one. What will be the your solution to it? Kalau kat rumah Danish ada kolam ikan, tak apalah, boleh letak kat kolam ikan. Tapi kalau tak ada macam mana? So itu kena discuss dalam group. And then update the coordinator on any challenges or problem in delivering the project from time to time. So contohlah kalau korang ada WhatsApp group sendiri, if you want to include me so that I can so that katalah benda yang you tak nak cakap dalam group besar but you want to discuss in your team, so then you can sama ada you nak PM ni individually ataupun you nak include me dalam your small WhatsApp group pun tak. Okay? So itu up to you. Kalau tak saya blast di dalam grup besar tu, kalau saya tanya semua okey ke? Ya okey doktor. Saya assume okey lah tu, tak ada masalah. Lagi sikit lah kerja saya. Okay, points to ponder. Banyaknya. But I think this is more about how you communicate lah sebab saya rasa sekarang maybe you cuma dekat WhatsApp, maybe ada 1 or 2 person je yang ataupun nak check chat. Why? Sekejap ada something? Okay, attendance tadi.
Attendance tak dapat.
Tak dapat?
Ini kat mana doktor?
Dekat chat tu you klik.
Tak ada, kosong je.
Biar betul.
Tak ada link lagi.
Sekejap. Mari aku tengok Afan tak kat siapa agaknya. Sekejap. Saya hantar dekat ni IDP je. IDP WhatsApp je. Saya rasa saya macam personally message somebody pula tadi. Buka je. Ada dekat WhatsApp. Okey tak?
Baru dapat doktor.
Sorry.
Dapat.
Tadi aku bagi kat siapa? Dapat Okey. Sekejap. Ya, tadi aku hantar dekat to everyone everyone in waiting room. Patutlah. Everyone in meeting. Saya nampak everyone je. Rupanya everyone in waiting room. Patutlah semua yang kat dalam meeting ni tak nampak. Okay. Right. Okay. Maybe saya highlight laju sikit lah. Okay. Yang tadi ni points to ponder. Saya rasa semua orang tahu bila one of the thing yang susah sekarang ni adalah how to communicate. Sebab tu you all ramai request to come back so that you can have a physical meeting, you can see your members face to face whatsoever kan. So jangan kita terpaksa adapt lah to this. Find ways of how you can communicate better. For members yang kalau your team cari, please reply lah sebab IDP is everything. IDP adalah benda yang tak boleh jalan kalau orang tu buat seseorang je. So walaupun you rasa contribution sangat sikit, but you are still needed by the group. So please reply. Kalau team ajak meeting, please attend the meeting and contribute. Simple guidelines, saya rasa saya sum upkan sama jugalah tadi. This is a project, team project, so you jangan rasa you are powerful enough, semua orang kena dengar cakap, ataupun you all ni tak contribute apa-apa, you follow je. No, sebab you should be participate in the discussion. You will have many meetings. I encourage every week meeting. Kalau last year tu memang encourage, memang diorang ada meeting every week. Tapi minggu 10 tu setiap hari kot diorang jumpa sebab nak siapkan prototype. Minggu 14 tak payah cakap lah. Memang 24 jam bersama. However, untuk you all tak boleh nak buat macam tu kan. Seorang kat Kedah, seorang dekat Terengganu, seorang kat Johor. So it's gonna be hard for you. So I would like you to conduct your meeting efficiently. So sebelum meeting tu maybe leader ke ataupun orang yang nak facilitate the meeting, prepare dulu apa benda nak meeting. Jangan dah masuk meeting, kita nak cerita apa ni? Kau lah dulu. Kan? Kalau macam tu 2 jam pun tak habis discuss apa benda. Sebab semua kau lah, akulah, ni. Then it's gonna be not achieving anything. So at least if you have all these points, at least you know lah some guidelines macam mana apa nak discuss. Setiap meeting kena ada decision. Selepas dah habis decision, kena ada person in charge. Person in charge kena make sure update the status so that next cycle of meeting semua orang tahu benda ni dah jalan ke belum. Okay. So itu saja. Dalam slide saya ada additional info lain yang saya bagi contoh macam mana preparation of the meeting agenda, okay, what you will do during the brainstorming session and also the key activities. Tapi benda tu more or less saya dah cerita lah tadi. Okay. So, so itu saja slide daripada saya. Anything else yang saya tak cover lagi? So ada satu homework untuk saya lah, sama ada Trello ataupun Teamwork ataupun Asana nanti yang saya update tadi.
Doktor.
Mei.
Brian dulu.
Okay, Brian.
Doctor, just want to confirm again. For the client, right? For the client, is there any requirements for the client? For example, if they need to own something, they need to own a factory or something.
Not necessarily.
So the client is quite open to anyone, right?
Sebab that's why you kena tengok balik you punya scope of project tu. Kalau you punya scope of project adalah kepada end user, maksudnya siapa-siapa je. So any individu can be you punya client.
Alright. Get it.
Get it, eh? So
Okay.
tengok scope. Mei?
Boleh tak saya macam nak
Apa? Mei?
saya nak guna?
Apa dia?
Hello, dengar?
Apa dia? Putus tadi.
Putus Sekarang okey?
Okay.
Okay, yang pasal Trello tadi. So saya nak suruh doktor macam tengok ada satu software ni nama dia Jira. So yang tu macam saya tengok macam okey sikit.
Apa kata Amir rajin sikit letak dalam grup WhatsApp semua orang explore terus.
Nanti saya
Katalah you all ada ke tak nak sama. Mungkin ada orang nak funky pakai Trello. Ada orang macam tak mau lah pakai Trello, nak pakai yang lebih macam traditional tu Asana. So ke you all nak ikut-ikut sendiri, lepas tu you all invite me as one of the member. Nak macam tu ke?
Microsoft Team.
Sorry Adi.
Microsoft Team. Microsoft Team punya tu yang app dekat app ni tak ada. Bukan kita ada ke Microsoft Team? Kita tak boleh pakai yang tu.
Oh, Microsoft Team. Saya rasa kalau Microsoft Team tu dia macam limited sikit. Lepas tu dia macam upload dia macam Google Drive tu kot kalau tak silap saya. Yang pasti kalau you all nak yang project management tools tu yang pasti saya nak nampak siapa punya aktiviti, siapa yang buat benda tu. Itu antara yang saya consider lah. Lepas tu kalau ada timeline, so selalunya ada kalender lah. So saya nak tengok you all plan benda ni nak buat minggu depan. So saya akan tengok achieve ke tak yang seperti yang you all plan tu. So itu so selalunya ada kalender ataupun timeline lah. Lepas tu saya nak check kalau ada yang boleh upload the documents, attachment, whatsoever tu, so that to prove things yang you buat tadi tu ada bukti dia. Itu antara kriteria lah yang saya tak tengok dalam tools tu. Okay, Adi?
One more thing, yang log tu, yang report kan, dia ada format ke tak ada format?
Last semester ada format. Tunggu sekejap saya buka
Okay.
Tapi last year tu bosan lah. You all sekarang tengok mesti ngantuk. Kejap. Share screen. Okey, ini yang contoh lah. Ini saya punya form official log report last semester yang mana setiap orang ada isi. Weekly basis. So kalau tengok you start date until end date tu. Lepas tu project roles sebagai apa. Lepas tu saya ada task dan current status. Lepas tu ada action to do dengan remarks. So very simple one lah. So kalau ada yang panjang sikit, contoh dia, sekejap report tu. Ada masa dia panjang sikit lah. Yang ini kalau ditulis panjang. Ni detail out. Completed, apa yang dia buat. Okay. So dia explain lah in detail apa yang macam ni. Dia kata client validation meeting with Baisala and Cecom. So memang company tu datang. Lepas tu dia yang sediakan questions beforehand. So a very technical question lah. So that they will be asked during the meeting. Lepas tu dia akan menjawab balik apa yang diorang tanya tu. Sepatutnya dia jawab balik lah. Apa jawapan daripada company tu kepada diorang. So a very simple one, tapi hassle dia adalah bila upload kat Putra Blast tu, katalah sekarang ni saya yang seorang je yang buat, saya kena download 48 project report weekly basis selama 13 minggu. Itu yang saya rasa sangat hassle sikit. That's why I try to simplify. Kita tengok tools yang lebih senang lah. Okay. So you all nak yang macam tu ke, yang traditional ke? Bosan kan? Ya. Nak tanya apa lagi? Okey tak Hadi tadi jawapan saya tadi Hadi?
Okey.
Ya.
Soalan kalau macam kita punya klien contoh macam kalau PKJ kan, boleh consider as klien?
Sebab ada kena mengena tak dengan projek you all?
Okay, let's say kalau tong sampah tu kita nak letak taman, taman rekreasi Tasik Cempaka. Then kita orang consider MPKJ as our client. Boleh?
Boleh, MPKJ boleh. Ya, memang sepatutnya.
Okay. Soalan terjawab tu.
So Hazman boleh contact MPKJ, boleh juga user biasa, you maybe boleh buat questionnaire ke kepada Taman Tasik Cempaka punya pengguna. Lepas tu mungkin kepada pekerja-pekerja dekat Taman Tasik Cempaka tu ke. So you jangan just tengok MPKJ, mesti dia akan tengok daripada perspektif dia sahaja kan.
Betul. Terima kasih.
Sama. Lagi?
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Assalamualaikum ya Zul.
Doktor nak tanya, in case lah kan, this PKPB berlanjutan kan ada masalah untuk
apa tu? Putus.
ini akan ada masalah untuk beli barang ke etc.
Ya, itu antara benda yang you all kena consider. Itu yang saya kata tadi, you all kena adapt to the changes. So, setakat ni saya rasa kalau setakat basic electronics component tu insya-Allah boleh dapat cepat, dan post pun setakat ni tak adalah hilang ke whatever kan, kecuali lah kalau you beli dari China tiba-tiba 3 minggu lepas tu tak ada pula kapal datang ke whatever, those are things yang you kena try to elak lah. Kalau boleh elak, kalau tak boleh you kena in advance beli benda-benda tu. Tapi setakat ni saya rasa tak adalah you all memerlukan benda yang sangat complicated kan.
Assalamualaikum doktor.
Salam ya.
Doktor, kalau contoh boleh duduk lain ataupun apa?
Lemak terhilang sekejap. Ulang balik Mariana.
Kalau kita nak sediakan
Ya, bagi saya tukar kepada saya punya Celcom jap. Dia data line tu hilang pula. Tadi okey, sekarang tak okey. Sekejap. Okey. Ulang balik. Apa dia Mariana?
Okey, maaf doktor. Saya nak tanya, kalau macam kita nak approach klien tu, kalau ada surat menyurat dan sebagainya, doktor sign atau boleh sign ataupun SV ke macam mana?
Selalunya KJ.
So kita kena minta tanda tangan KJ jika ada surat.
Itu sebab bila you all hantar email kepada KJ, sisikan kepada saya sekali. So saya tahulah you all minta surat tu daripada KJ.
Okey, baik doktor, terima kasih.
Sama. Lagi nak tanya apa lagi?
Doktor.
Ya.
Untuk produk demo dengan presentation kan? Kita buat secara face to face ke, record ke, live meeting ke?
Danish, setakat ni kita terima kenyataan yang online lah dulu
So online tu secara live lah?
Mungkin korang kena sediakan video dulu, video of demo, presentation semua recorded, tapi lepas tu masa Q&A nanti baru kita live. Okay. Sebab yang tu jimat masa sikit kalau rather than you present demo at the same time kan, banyak sangat masa nak takut ada technical problem.
Okay, thank you doktor.
Okay, lagi ada apa-apa lagi nak tanya? Leaders.
Doktor. Saya nak tanya kan yang macam Hazman cakap tadi tu kan, kalau contohnya kita orang plan untuk implement kita punya produk dekat Taman Tasik Cempaka. So kita orang nak try MPKJ sebagai kita punya klien. Lepas tu kan tadi doktor suggest untuk macam kita boleh juga bagi questionnaires dekat pengunjung dekat situ. So adakah pengunjung dengan MPKJ akan dikira sebagai dua orang klien yang berlainan?
Ya betul. Akan dua klien yang berlainan.
Lepas tu kan doktor, satu lagi soalan. Yang untuk pengunjung tu kita ada had umur ataupun macam tak kisah sesiapa sahaja janji as long as diorang adalah pengunjung dan pengguna kat situ?
Selalunya kita kalau untuk survey kita 18 tahun ke atas lah baru kita terima apa saja feedback tu sebagai feedback yang logical. Macam mengundi lah juga. Lepas tu selalunya bila you nak tahu trend ataupun pattern, kena tanyalah dia datang Taman Tasik Cempaka tu sekerap mana kan. So selalunya soalan-soalan survey ataupun soalan interview ni masa saya jadi supervisor dulu saya yang review dulu soalan tu. So sepatutnya untuk you all kena minta supervisor reviewkan dulu soalan tu. Takut tak memenuhi apa yang you nak ke, tak menjawab soalan-soalan yang you nak tahu ataupun terlalu general ke ataupun terlalu spesifik. So that's the job scope of your supervisor yang perlu dibuat lah.
Thank you doktor.
Okay. Lagi? Memang last year memang ada macam last year my group dia memang ada dia sebenarnya dua klien. Satu adalah daripada system provider, that's why kita ada dua company. Satu lagi adalah daripada user. So user tu kita interview lab yang memang ada pakai that kind of system lah yang macam yang kita propose. So dia ada dua perspektif. Satu adalah supplier ataupun service provider. Satu lagi adalah user perspektif. So kita akan combine dua dalam kita punya client validation report. So kalau nak tengok contoh yang itu nanti boleh saya share dalam Putra Blast. Okay, ada lagi soalan lain?
Doktor, recording ni doktor akan masukkan ke Putra Blast ke?
Ya betul. Sebab ramai yang tak datang hari ni juga.
Yes. Betul. Okay, thank you doktor.
Okay, ada lagi tak soalan-soalan lain yang segan nak tanya dalam WhatsApp tapi nak cakap dekat sini? Kita dekat sini lagi segan. Bernard, you don't have any question?
No, doctor.
No, Okay. So, ni diam tanda setuju, tanda tak ada soalan dah ni. Tanda dah penat.
Yes, indeed.
Sepatutnya kelas kita sampai pukul 6. I mean lecture or briefing kita sampai pukul 6. But it's gonna be kind of ridiculous lah kan, 3 jam straight. Aku dah sakit belakang dah ni duduk ni. Okay. So, betul ni, tak ada apa-apa dah ni. It's clear. It's very clear. I hope
Betul.
Ya.
Kalau ada soalan nanti bukanlah nanti di masa depan boleh tanya kan.
Boleh sangat-sangat. Kan saya kata tadi, saya satu semester jaga ni 24/7. Tapi kalau satu grup tu janganlah 5 orang dalam satu grup tu tanya saya 5 kali PM. Seorang PM cukup. Okay? Lepas tu you all semua dah ada WhatsApp group masing-masing kan untuk team? Ada? Okay.
Dah.
Supervisor dah masuk belum?
Dah.
Betul. Okay. Dah start discussion tak dengan supervisor? Ada tak share video presentation embedded last semester kepada supervisor? Ada tak?
Ada.
Ada Okay. Minta di feedback. Lepas tu refresh balik feedback saya dekat supervisor. So sepatutnya dia akan sama-sama berfikir dengan korang bukan korang je yang berfikir. So you have to ask dia punya pendapat, dia rasa macam mana. Lepas tu bila you cakap katalah kita nak klien macam ni, okay, doktor rasa okey tak kalau klien macam ni untuk diinterviewkan sebagai klien dalam projek ni. So sepatutnya dia kena juga respond to all you all punya question Dia tak boleh duduk senyap tau supervisor ni. Kalau ada supervisor yang duduk senyap je tak respond, bagi tahu saya juga. Okay.
Okay doktor.
Alright. Okay. So saya rasa semua orang dah tak larat dah ni. Okay. So